Today we're going to go through a couple things to develop your expired and canceled list and to get you the data you're going to need to actually follow up with these guys. I'm going to go ahead, I'm on a Mac, I'm going to go to full screen just so we can have a bigger place to work from. So I'm going to jump into Flex MLS first to get us started. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to full search, and luckily ours, pretty much all look the same. We want to go to expired and canceled. So you select those, click next. Alright, so the big thing with this is we want to select our dates. Now, if you're just getting started, you want to use like a really big database and get a lot of good leads going. You're going to click the cancel date, and I suggest if you want to do a lot, you can do, this is going to go a year back. I would say go 6 months. But for the sake of saving some space, we're just going to go back a couple months. So we'll go February 2015. Do that on the 1st, and then the expiration date the same. 15 February. Okay, so that's going to narrow us down. Probably still have a few thousand, but this will narrow us down to where we're not getting a lot of these guys like way back. So what do we got here? 6,000. All right. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you can go to location, tax, and legal. And what I like to do is click the zip code, and you know what zip code you work in. I predominantly work in 3. So I'm going to go ahead and load those in. And then that's, as you see, it's gonna narrow our stuff down as soon as we get out of that. So see, now we have 88 results. Now, if you want to get like really advanced with this, if you have a major preference, I know some people refuse to sell houses below a certain amount of money. You could adjust that here. So now I have 88. Let's just say I don't want to go after anything under 300,000. I'm gonna go and do that, and that cut it in half. So I'll do that just so we narrow this down. So I'm just going to put 500,000 in here just so we get a smaller list. So now we have 15. So now that we have 15, we can kind of go look at what we have. There's other things you can look at here if you want specific stuff, but we're just trying to get a list of the broadest stuff that we can sell. So we'll take a look at this list right here and see what it gets us. Alright, so quite a bit of stuff canceled, and not a lot of stuff that was expired. So let's make sure that we have our dates right here. Well, that's right. Let's write January, see if we can't pull some expireds out of this. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So the next thing we're going to do, after we take a look at these, is we're going to basically save these to the desktop. So what you do is you go to export. Generic text export is fine. You don't really need anything else. So basically, we have to make sure we're not a robot. So we put whatever code they put up here, and then we're going to export that out. So basically, it's going to take out a second. Okay, it already kicked it out. So here is going to be where it lands as a text export CSV. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the desktop so we can open this up and take a look at it. I'm going to open it with numbers just because that's, what I use. You can also open it with Microsoft. It's going to be the same thing. We'll open it with numbers really quick, and I'll bring that to full screen, and we can take a look at what we got here. So as you can see, we have our MLS number is going to be here. You got your agency stuff here. Now, one thing you can do, if you want to get really advanced, is a lot of times you don't want to deal with an owner agent because more likely you're going to call them and say, hey, I thought you were going to sell your house, and you didn't look hard enough, and they're an agent. You can stop that by selecting in the MLS on special conditions to not allow owner agent special conditions in the filter. So that kind of eliminates that. I didn't do that here, but like I said, you can fool around with it and just get as granular as you want with it. Now, so you got all this stuff here. All we're really going to need is we can actually delete all this stuff. So we can get rid of all of this. I am going to want the cancel date though. And the reason why is I put that in my CRM just so I know how long they've been off the market. Are they close to burning off their 91 days to be able to go back to 0 days on market in the MLS, things of that nature. So we can get rid of all this other junk as well. All right, now what I like to do is you have the original list and the list price. I like to see how flexible they were on this price. I mean, these guys dropped $140,000 and couldn't move the home, canceled the contract, so they're obviously very motivated. The next people, they didn't move. I don't know what the reasons were, but you never know. Now, you can leave the price per square foot, but that's going to be in the listing, so I like to delete all that stuff. Now, the reason why I'm going to delete all of the address info is we're going to get that actually out of the listing later once we know what we're dealing with. So I'm going to cut all this stuff out, all of it out. And the reason I'm doing that is I just don't need it. We're going to get our own information. So I'm going to show you that we're going to cut this stuff. And then we'll go back to the front. So I need to insert a couple things here. Now I want to put the address. I want to also add a phone number. And then I want to add an email address. And this is the stuff we're going to end up picking up out of the listing and Intellius. On the next video, I'm going to show how we're going to weed through these listings to make sure they haven't been listed again. Because if they are, then obviously we have to delete them if they've already relisted. And once we get a clean list or a scrub list, then we'll be able to go back and then we'll start adding in all of our contact information to add to our database.